For this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth listens to my voice. 2 days ago, I attended a lecture at King's College by Father Peter C. Fan, entitled, "Is the Christian God a Migrant?" One idea that caught my attention was considering the Holy Family's flight to Egypt as an act of migration, and how this can be associated with the story of its migrant today. Has anyone here not heard, thought about, and been part of conversation in the past year about the status of refugees, the lack of housing, the deterioration of the health system due to the pandemic, and the high number of people who had entered our country in the last years? If we think we can turn to the Scripture and church teaching to show us how Christians ought to respond to these issues, you are correct. We can. The message from the Scriptures is simple and is clear, and has been our tradition for over 2,000 years. We are to feed the hungry, clothe the naked, and welcome the stranger. Our family of parishes has been formally notified that after a process of 3 years, our 2 more recent sponsored Syrian refugees from Syria, who left Syria in 2021 as a result of religious persecution, have received their visas to travel to Canada from Lebanon. Once the 2 brothers, Asper and Abdul, nephews of Nabil Kerr, arrive in Canada, we will be helping them to settle into life in London and supporting them financially and emotionally for 1 year. The readings for today's Mass emphasize the love of Christ the King, who did not come to establish his kingdom by force. We find Jesus on trial, questioned by the Roman governor Pilate. He never gives him a direct answer to his questions. But he is not trying to evade the truth here. In fact, he has no time for Pilate's authority for whatever truth his question might be intended to reveal. Rather, Jesus summons the witness of the truth unknown to Pilate. He calls on an authority that makes of the governor's dominion a puny, meaningless jurisdiction indeed. As he does in all teaching, in all his parables, Jesus is drawing us, his followers, to look at life from a perspective and turns our reality upside down and inside out. You have heard that it was said, "You shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy." But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Do not fear, only believe. You have heard that it was said, "An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth." But I say to you, do not resist an evildoer. But if anyone strikes on your right cheek, turn the other also. These are the words, the teaching, the truth of the one we claim today as our King. So, what are we to do with such word, such truth, on any day, let alone in these particular days of danger, threat, and tension all around the world? We need to wrestle with Jesus' teaching, with his truth. We need to take it seriously and then work to understand how his word, his truth, impact our lives and our decisions today. We who claim Christ as our King are bound to allow his word to upset us. Listen carefully, to upset us, to turn us around, to make us look at life and life's problems from his point of view in the light of his love, and from the depths of his merciful heart. On this feast of Christ the King, then our task is to listen to the Lord's voice and to wrestle with the truth of his word in our lives. This isn't an easy task in any age, and is certainly difficult in our own times. No simple quoting of the scripture will supply a complete answer to the problem of migration in the world today, but neither can faithful Christians form an opinion on the matter without seriously wrestling with and integrating the word and truth of Jesus into the stand they take. Let us pray that we listen to our King's voice, to his word and to his truth, and to move to open our hearts to one another and to all, even as his heart is open for us.